All right. Okay. Let's get back to it. I am excited once again. God, I love this game. Welcome back to Ironsworn Starforged Vaults of Vaarn. I'm so glad I'm back here. And let's continue our story of Ardel Santos and his companion Ziva, who is currently on the fritz. And we'll see if we can't get to the bottom of that particular problem. We last left off with Ardel at the wreck of a varnish wreck, right after he went through the winding canyon, and he ran into bandits that said that they controlled this region. And so I wrote up a kind of a recap thing, mostly for myself, but I can go over it a little bit. And basically, so we met some Kakajins that said that they controlled the region to the south of where they were, and demanded some water from Ardel, in which he had to give up. So he did that. And the damage to Ziva was kind of the interpretation of the a trusted companion betrays you type of complication. And I don't know if it's going to be like an actual betrayal, but the powers granted and the boon that Ziva gives to Ardel is unavailable. The companion itself basically gives a +1 during social interactions, and the firebrand ability allows us to use fire to do various things, but mostly it gives a +2 when we use that fire to gain an advantage or something like that. So we will figure out what we need to do with these, but in the meantime, we'll continue on our journey. So right now, Ardel is beginning to trust no one. Everyone that he has met in this journey so far has been less than stellar. And he has definitely starting to mistrust the Kakujin, or the mutant humans. So we will try to honor that truth so far. I will write it up here just so I will mistrust or distrust? Mistrusts Kakujin. Mistrust Kakujin. So basically, like, he's not going to be very kind to Kakujin. He was starting this journey sort of not in a good light. He was exiled, of course, but at least someone else besides his home might be helpful, right? Well, so far, not so much. Change things around just to spruce it up for myself. I've been playing the game a lot, and just wanted to change the desk up a little bit. Okay, so next step is to explore this wreck. So those bandits moved on. They got their goods, they got their water, and they traveled back south into the canyon space. So I think Ardel is going to try to avoid the canyon hex as much as he can. So that's that. We will try to have him make a roll to discover something about this wreck. So we know from the from my notes that this wreck was an ancient warship. And it's been corrupted. Cause of wreck, faulty navigation. So something tells me that it crashed into this mountainous region. And that is something I sort of glossed over, or maybe I even forgot to say, but this region where the Varnish wreck is mountainous. So a mountainous region of kind of like, you know, blue shale and granite and, you know, blacks and purples and blues is kind of how the ground looks. And the weather today was that sticky worm pollen stuff. So we are going to explore this thing to hopefully mark something on his discovery trek. Right now, he has not found anybody to bond with, and he has not really completed any quests. So maybe he can make some progress on hopefully finding a way off this rock, his background vow. And maybe he'll find some more information about maybe this ancient warship is from space. We will see. So I do want to. So there was a way to roll up, not quite a dungeon per se, but that is doable in the Starforged books, which I will use pretty soon here. But I wanted to double check the tables in Vaults of Vaarn on the landmark, ruin. It's not really a ruin, but the wrecks. So these are just wrecks of old ships. And because this is an ancient warship, it very well could be something that was space oriented, or a spaceship. I'm going to give that a small chance, just because if it is, that's awesome. But if it isn't, that makes sense. So a small chance, we need a 10 or less. Oh, that's a 30. That's a 30. So no. It is not a spaceship, but it might have some cool tech on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch over to the Ironsworn Starforged reference guide. I do have the Starsmith Expanded Oracles, which honestly includes this plus a lot more. But the expanded things here really do focus more on space stuff. There is a whole thing on districts of like large cities and stuff, but that's not really the setting of Vaults of Vaarn all that much. So I won't be using that, just to keep things simple, mostly for myself. If I was world building and stuff like that, or just like to roll up some random tables and stuff, it's kind of what I do. I used to do that a lot. I have a journal, maybe that's a video for a different time, on how I create my entries in my journal for my own sake, and this is my actual play. This is just how I play all of my games. Let us look up on, not settlements, but let us look up the, it's not a vault, because it is a ship. So, starships. So it is definitely going to be, it's not a starship, sorry. It's a ship of some sort. And I need to find derelicts. There we go. It's a derelict. And some of this stuff I don't need. The condition is ancient, so I already know it's not going to be working. It could be working. But what I will say is the outer first look. I will roll on that first. The first look as he's climbing up this mountainous space to investigate this this wreck. And you know, he has his backpack, he has his weapon of choice and all that fun stuff. He has his tools and his little thing of water. So he has his supplies and everything, and his hover bike is parked and sort of hidden away a little bit. He doesn't want to have those bandits come back, so maybe that'll come into play. We'll see. All right, so let us roll on the outer first look. What does it look like? 6. Blocked access. So oddly enough, there is it seems intact. Then does not mean that there's stuff inside, but at least he knows that, oh well, it doesn't seem like anyone has tried to get into this thing. So that's interesting. So we have the wreck. It is blocked access, which means there's more of a chance for things to be intact inside then. I'm just going to move this over here so it's not always in the scene. Okay. So now he has to try to get in. I think this is just iron, and if he can't get in, he might have to, spend more time to get in, right? So let us try to do that. Let's see, narratively, he's taking out his tools and he's starting to pitch away at the seams of this hatch. Seems like that is the most logical spot to start picking at. And with an iron of 1, so 2 plus, so that is a miss. So the thing about making an iron roll for to like brute force, I think that was a strike, but it's like it's more of a secure advantage. With iron strength, so weak hit, we add 2 momentum, or on a miss we fail and our assumptions betray us. So we were trying to secure an advantage by getting in and setting up a base of operations at the hatch, but we failed, so we have to pay the price, which I'm fine to do. Let us roll 54, and I have the little cheat sheet here. A friend, companion, or ally is in harm's way, or you are if alone. So technically my quote companion is the protocol bot nanomachines that are on the forehead of Ardel, but they are incapacitated. They're in harm's way, or you are if alone. Well, that sounds like maybe with the last little chisel bang on the side of this hatch, big hiss, and an explosive sort of force pushes out from the inside, and that feels like that's a face danger roll right there. That's the pay the price. So we're going to try to react to an imminent threat. This is strength with strength, endurance, and it's probably going to be either edge or strength. So it's either edge or iron that he needs to use. I'm going to say edge just because he needs to dodge out of the way. I was thinking iron because of this big massive hatch doors being thrust on top of him. You know, I will leave it up to chance here, because I, the player, am having a difficult like I can't make up my mind on which one sounds the best. I think that he would hear the hissing and everything like that, and the explosiveness, and the natural reaction is to try to get out of the way. So I will go for edge. So we're gonna roll plus edge to try to face danger here. We got a 6 plus 2 is what do you call it? 6 plus 2 is not 7. Sorry, 8. But that is still a weak hit. A weak hit on face danger is you succeed, but not without a cost. Make a suffer move at -1. Honestly, that feels most like a health hit. So I am going to roll or suffer 1 health. So he's down to 1. And I'm going to attempt to resist that with health. Yes, with health or iron, whichever's higher. Well, they're the same. So I'm going to say he's going to kind of grit and bare his teeth a bit, and he's going to use his iron a bit. So let's roll to resist. Oh man, so that is a weak hit. And I believe a weak hit on the endure harm stuff, suffer move. Endure on a weak hit, you are not wounded. If you're not wounded, we're not. You may exchange momentum in okay. So you know what? I think I will, just because he's so low health. So mechanically, what's happening here is he had tried to use his edge to move out of the way of the explosive hatch, and he failed that. So he had to suffer harm, and he did, but he was trying to reduce the amount of harm, and he sort of did. So by reducing his momentum, his overall sort of drive and, well, momentum in his narrative, he's going to exchange honestly one momentum for 1 hit point. So he had, well, it's not a hit point, 1 health. So he's back up to where he was, but he lost a little momentum in doing so. And effectively, after all of that, Ardel is down 1 momentum, but has gained access to whatever this hatch space is. So I think what we're going to do here is that this is an ancient warship, and because this is a warship, it's sort of, it's big. So what I want to do is that there's these derelict zones broken into primary areas and functions. So this is intended specifically for like space derelicts or crashed derelicts that were spaceships. But I still want to use this because these are really cool tables for delving. Honestly, I think it adds a lot of really cool depth to dungeon delving and to you creating interesting sites. The Iron Sworn system didn't have that initially, but they came out with Delve and added a whole new mechanic with a bunch of cards and such for themes and everything like that. But for that, we're just going to... I could create like monsters and things that could be here, but I'm going to let the narrative kind of dictate all of that stuff. So what we are going to figure out is the access is page 84, so we're going to see kind of what this access is. So let us roll, and the way I note take here, it might feel a little strange. It's very hapdash and very chicken scratch, but that's for me, you know, to read. And I'm just recording because I like to talk while I play my games. All right, let's see. Area. We got 9, 0, 9. So 9. So it's a corridor. So that tells me that this is most likely a like an access hatch that is specific to going into the main hallway, but it's not an access to like a big cargo door space, cargo door, you know, cargo room or anything like that, or the engineering room or something like that. So it is just the corridor, and I sort of want to the theme. So there's themes, which are really interesting, cool things that themes are kind of the zones are basically exactly that, like the kind of place, the kind of locations that you can find, and the themes are kind of what you can find within that, and what the vibe of the place is. So I kind of want to roll on both of these. You don't have to. I just want to, and I feel like a place like Vaarn would have some interesting things going on. So I want to roll on the whole theme. Like, is this haunted? Is it infested? And we can change it based on our truths. So we do know some basic stuff. We do know there's lots of monsters out there. He hasn't really experienced anything. So let's roll on. So this will be while we are exploring the whole place. But let's roll a theme for the entire place. So let us find out. It is 52. Inhabited. People have built a community in this place. Oh my God. That is wild. Okay. So the first thing that comes to my mind, even before I even want to do it per se, is that maybe this was a crashed ancient warship, but it was hermetically sealed, very much like those arcologies, but just much smaller place. And that tells me that maybe there's a, you know, vault-like situation going on in this ship. Maybe it's bigger than Ardel can see. Maybe it's embedded into the mountain. I haven't even visualized on how big this thing is. Well, that is wild. So page 106 is going to be where we go for this. People have built the community in this place, and there's various features that might happen. Perils, if there's a peril or an opportunity. So we're going to keep this on the ready. I'm going to use this. I have a... Oh, come on. Little guy here for that. And let us roll on. So the access is a corridor, and let's see what sort of things are around here. 47. Opened or missing panels. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense, honestly, a lot, because access, open panels in access corridor. Okay, so that makes perfect sense. And Ardel is like wandering through thinking, wow, this is quiet. Now, it is quiet right now because he just opened it up. And, you know, outside of that hiss, that pressurized explosive, you know, hatch opening, and then the air is probably stale and a bit musty. The open panels in the corridor, now top down, we know that the place is occupied, but Ardel has not found any hints of that. But we could say that there are like toolboxes at this open panel, and I'm going to ask the Oracle, does this toolbox look like it has been recently put there, or does the panel look recently put there? And I'm going to say just because we know that it is occupied or it's inhabited, I'm going to give it a 50-50. It's 27, so no, it has not been put there recently. So that means it tells me that it is covered in dust and looks abandoned. Covered in dust / looks abandoned. So this is like the first little region here, and he is going to continue on, and oddly enough, Ardel is feeling a little lonely and feeling, you know, segregated. Like, man, I've been exiled from my home that's been populated. There's lots of people there, you know, true kin, and the only people I've met are people that don't look like me, that are treating me or saying things to me that are not nice. So I'm not going to be nice to them. And so he's kind of starting to grow a thicker skin, you know, so to speak. But he comes into this place that looks abandoned and empty, and he's thinking, wow, this place is old and ancient. And we'll see what happens. Okay, so let us roll. It's nothing special really happened in this space because it's the access, and we know it's inhabited. So let us roll to see this next space. The feature of this access, or rather, I will roll on the inhabited table when it makes more sense. Let's roll to see what, and this is not a star. It is a starship. Yeah, so it was a starship. So let's roll on what the next little space that he comes into is. 29 for starship is engineering. Okay, so he comes across an engineering space, and it looks to be a 73 workshop. Okay, some sort of like workshop is here, and you know he actually turns on his little headlamp thing, and all this while he's actually trying to repair his protocol bot nanomachines on his forehead. In fact, this is a workshop and has engineering stuff in it. So let's roll a feature to see what kind of stuff is here. 52, multi-level layout. So it's just lots of different space. It opens up from the corridor. This was access point to this engineering space. And because it's a workshop and it's multi-level, I'm just going to say that there are lots of workbenches and tools and various things about. But as we know, it should be inhabited. And I'm going to say likely. Is there anyone in here? 94, so 75 or less. So no, even though it's likely that somebody was in here, the Oracle says no. So again, so Ardel comes into this space and he wants to fix his a protocol bot. So I know that there are rules for repairing, you know, or what's it called? Fixing a companion. But I believe that's up here in like there's like repair. When you make repairs to your vehicle, modules, mechanical companions, or other devices, envision the situation and roll. If you make your own repairs or direct a companion to make repairs, roll wits. Obtain repairs from someone, not an ally, roll supply. Okay, we are making our own repairs. And okay, here we go. I've never actually done this move ever. I think in all of my... No, that's not true. I think I repaired the hull of my starship, I think, once in a pretty bad battle at one point. Okay, so we're going to roll plus wits. And our wits is, so reminder, 3. All right, and so we can spend repair points. Right. So we know that the protocol bot's health is currently at 2, and for whatever reason is not responding. All right. Oh, 4 plus 3 is 7. So that makes this a weak hit. Okay. A situation at a facility in the field. So we are at a facility because this is a workshop and has is an engineering workshop. Weak hit, we get 3 points of repair points. Okay. You gain repair points as appropriate to the situation. Additionally, you may sacrifice resources and exchange each of -1 supply for extra repair points, up to 3 points. Okay, so you could exchange supply from your personal, you know, gear to fix things. That's actually really cool. I did not know that. And you can spend repair points as follows. And unused points are discarded. Okay, fix a vehicle on a vehicle. Unfortunately, the vehicle. Oh, the hover bike is full health, I believe. But Ziva is down one hit point. So he's going to, he finds some strange, device. And as we know, from the truths of this world, nanomachines are everywhere. So I envision a workshop that has kind of the tools of the trade to deal with cybernetics and implants and all the little nanomachine type stuff is on this station. And Ardel recognizes, that is something that is dealt with, that uses, or that helps with what I have on my forehead. That's interesting. Let me try to do that. And he succeeds. And he is going to heal up Ziva to 3. And here's the thing, is that we know that for whatever reason, the protocol bot Ziva short-circuited, lost a life, but then retracted all of the abilities that it gave to Ardel. Now, does this repair fix that, or does it just fix the damage? I could just say yes, but I feel like I like the idea that there might be something else going on. So I'm going to give that I'm going to give this an unlikely chance that this does not fully restore. So it's unlikely. So if 25 or less, then it does not fully restore. Come on. Why am I rolling this? 96. Okay, so fine. 96. So a protocol bot Ziva reboots, and the fire in Ardel's hands comes back, and he can kind of flicker a little bit of flame, and he takes a deep sigh and goes, whew. He takes comfort in having that ability to start fire. There's something primal and something just comforting to know that there is fire at the ready. And he just, Ziva, are you okay? And then he taps his forehead, and Ziva, in their sort of neutral response within his head, it's not audible, it's straight bone conducting, says, reboot successful. Thank you for repairing. Progress on customs and languages indexing is ongoing. Have you met any new beings? And indeed, he has met new people. And he just goes, more Kakogen. Not any better than the first. Still demanding, and still not ideal to meet on the road. Got that? And Ziva goes, indeed, noted. So now we will kind of officially log that Ziva has their own little entry on the Kakogen that Ardel has been interacting with. So he's successfully repaired Ziva and got his firebrand ability back, which is good. So let's move on into the workshop. Got to repaired Ziva, the protocol bot, and the next zone. Let's see what the next zone is. All right, let's see. Now, you know what I would... I just realized that what I should be doing is not just exploring for exploring's sake. I should have done a explore a waypoint when you divert from an expedition to examine a notable location. So, yeah, this happens to me all the time. All right, I will continue in doing the, location by location exploration of this thing, but I do want to backtrack it just a minute. Because he's going to explore this waypoint. He's going to roll wits, and we're going to make a discovery. And I think this discovery he might actually find within this derelict. When your exploration of a waypoint uncovers something wondrous. So, and that's what we're going to do. So we're going to explore a waypoint. We're going to roll plus wits. So we get +3. Exploring a waypoint. We're not doing any lore hunter stuff because we have not sworn an iron vow to recover any valuable knowledge yet. And formidable or greater, so that means 1 tick. Dangerous and troublesome are 2 and 3 ticks, and formidable is only 1 tick per thing. So we have not even done any of that. So anyway, let me roll plus wits. Oh, 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 oh my God. That was a 2 and a 2, and then a 3 plus 3 is 6. So that is a strong hit with a match. Woo! Okay, on a strong hit, choose one. On a strong hit with a match, yes! Yes! I've never done this. I'm so happy. Sorry, I'm so happy. Okay. You may instead make a discovery. So, may. Find an opportunity, envision a favorable insight, situation, resource, or encounter, then take +2 momentum. So that's kind of what we could do. Or we could gain progress, mark progress on your expedition per its rank. So we definitely could, while he's exploring this a derelict, old ancient warship, we could maybe find a map or something that helps us make more progress on finding our way to the settlement. But that doesn't make as much sense. So I'm kind of depending. I could do the first one. That sounds really interesting. To find an opportunity, envision a favorable insight, situation, resource, or encounter. Like that's so open that we could do some really cool stuff with that. But I've never made a discovery ever. It's so hard to do that because you got to roll this with a match. There's a 10% chance, I believe, to do that. I think. I honestly don't know the math, but anyway, I'm not going to pretend that I understand it. I'll just revel in its amazingness. All right, make a discovery. When your exploration of a waypoint uncovers something wondrous, roll on the table below or choose one. Then envision the nature of the discovery and how it is revealed. When you first experience or engage with the discovery, you and your allies may mark 2 ticks on your discovery's legacy track. Nice. Okay. All right, so this is really cool, actually. So this, I'm going to wait to roll on. I'm going to make a note. Make a discovery roll in ship. Okay, so this little note here is that while we're in this place, I will make this roll at some point when it seems narratively important. Because right now he's just wandering around this ship. And so, yeah, so right now he's just, yeah, oh wow. Strong hit. Yeah. So that's all that is doing. So right now he's just wandering around doing things. Okay, that's cool. All right, let us go to the derelict section and let us roll to see what next area that he might roll into. Well, walk into. 9. So more engineering. Okay, so I mean, obviously that makes sense. 86. So what sort of area does he walk into? 71. Water processing. Ooh, okay. H2O processing. Now, there's still a likely chance that he might run into somebody, H2O processing, but I think because this is H2O processing and not necessarily like an active hub space like the other the engineering space, which should have had people in it, but it didn't for some reason, which makes me think that there's something else going on here. But H2O processing, I'm only going to give that an unlikely chance of people being here. So let's roll 25 or less. 90. So no, there's no one here in the H2O processing plant space. So what's a feature of this processing plant? 74. Unfinished project. Oh, interesting. Unfinished project. Well, what would that be? Now, I could, let's see. I'm feeling inspired. I could roll on this Exotica. Exotica are strange, rare objects that are highly sought after. Each PC may begin, play with one. And this is how I actually built and had my character start with the Firebrand ability. I rolled, and he had this thing to allow him to control lightning. And the closest asset in Starforged was the Firebrand ability. So yeah. But I'm thinking that there might be some cybernetic things going on, or Exotica. But I almost kind of want to roll on... Oh, man, like... Roll on the table for... Oh, where is it? I had it. Not the anomaly, the archive. Not the bandits. Nomad camp. Just me trying to find something that makes sense to me in the story. Here we go. Science Mystics Abode. So this is a location that you can find out in the sands itself. And I'm thinking because this is varnish in nature, it may not be from space, but it might be from here. Or if it was from space, the Science Mystics have changed it somehow. I don't know. Anyway, Science Mystic Abode. Certain avenues of philosophical inquiry are best pursued in the deepest deserts, far away from curious neighbors, the reach of law enforcement, or indeed any conceivable restraint save one's own threadbare conscience. So I'm thinking that this researching thing here is going to be the thing that is the unfinished project. So let's just roll a d20 and roll on the researching table here, and I can sort of mix or kind of mesh that into the story here. 14. So we got mycomorph psychology. Interesting. So unfinished project. Mycomorph psychology. Interesting. That's mycomorph psychology. So mycomorphs, they are indeed a type of creature, and even a playable creature in the game itself. In Vaarn, many things have intertwined, and much that was once the province of mankind alone, speech, reason, art, religion, has been granted to other forms of life, and they hold themselves as humanity's equal. In the mycomorph, death and life are held in strange balance, for these creatures are formed of cadaverous flesh and voracious fungus, and they name their kind the Twiceborn. Sculptors of living matter and artisans of decay, they remake human flesh for their own purposes, and there is no shortage of raw material in the Blue Ruins. Interesting. So they literally feed off of, like, the corpses of humans. Wow. That's wild. Okay, so some project here is dealing with the mycomorph psychology of what that is. Interesting. So, you know what? Unfortunately, that sort of kind of hints at the fact that there might be a mycomorph, like, tied up, hooked up to the water plant, just to have, like, a food source or something. And that's... I'm going to ask the Oracle. I don't like that idea, but that's where I went, and that seems the most logical in the flow of what's happening. I'm going to say that's a small chance. So I need a 10 or less And if it's a 10 or less, there is unfortunately a mycomorph tied up there. Whew, 13, so no. But there are notes and such about mycomorphs and how they act and their stuff. So, in fact, I will say this piece of information is good lore that Ardel learns. And actually, I'm going to say, because I know it's kind of the discovery stuff. Set of course, combat, legacy, earn experience, overcome. Nope. So not any of those. Okay, so there was something I was thinking of is you can... Ooh, that is coming loose. You can... I want to have Ardel have like a record of the stuff that he is learning. And so far he is learning interesting things about, well, so far the Kakogen and the mycomorphs. So that's interesting. And there was no one here. But I think his next step is to, he's seeing signs of things being here and interacting with things, and there's still water. He actually might take some water. He's going to take 3 units of water. And that's not going to up his overall supply, because that's a move. But he will take some water. And I think I'm going to close it out for right now. I got other things I need to get to. So, Ardel is currently in the belly of this ancient warship that has effectively crash landed into the side of the mountains in the Cerulean Maw, in the sands of Vaarn. And we will pick up next time with him hopefully finding somebody, or hopefully finding more information, and I will make a discovery roll at some point, hopefully soon. But until next time, folks, I'll see you on the flip side.